I wish I could remake my life sometimes. Hey guys, Max from Baka Burrito, and today on Breakfast Burrito, I'm going to be doing a quick discussion on one of my favorite animes that came out in the summer of 2021, Remake Our Lives. It's a anime that I followed since it was a manga back like in 2019, and it's one of my favorite manga that I've kept up to date with since it first came out back then. So I would like to do a little video, for you guys to hear about why I like it, the story of it, and maybe to get you guys interested in checking it out, since it's all done and finished and ready for you guys to watch. So I want to go into the reasons why you should give this anime a shot and why you might like it. One, it just has a really nice story overall. It has a lot of characters that I feel are very relatable to different types of people. In terms of like Kyoya, if you feel like you're in down the dumps and you want to try and restart your life and try to like push forward and push things through, Kyoya is your guy. If you're somebody who's always struggled with high expectations from your family, wanting to push it all away, Suraki is your guy. If you're an airhead like me, Shino is your girl. Like I am an airhead just like Shino. I don't realize half the time I'm making mistakes or I'm making uh, making dumb decisions throughout. So Shino, I definitely relate to. If you're a strict type person, Echo is definitely somebody you could definitely relate to in this series. And then if you're somebody who doesn't have the confidence in your talents and needs somebody's support, Nano is your girl. Another reason why I think you would like this anime and people should give it a shot is if you've ever experienced a crossroads moment in your life where you've had to decide, okay, like I can either go do A or B. Like I could go to a prestigious art school or go to a prestigious business school. That's a major crossroads in your life, and you end up maybe wondering what could have been. This anime kind of answers those questions for some people, which I think is cool because I personally have had those moments where I'm like, should I have actually done this instead of that? I haven't regretted my decisions, but I've always wondered about the what ifs. So if you're somebody who's ever had those thoughts or those moments, I feel like this would be a fun anime for you just to watch in general. And the last thing is the story is just fantastic to me. Just the idea of somebody trying to grow and improve themselves throughout the series and not use some sort of cheat skill or like super ability. Yes, it has time travel, but it's more about Kyoya realizing his own talents and trying to make the best of the opportunities he's been given, which I just think is a nice little change of pace, from other anime series where you have an overpowered main character or a super talented main character who just can blast through any situation, no problem, not even breaking a sweat. In this anime, Kyoya struggles throughout the series. He struggles with the idea of he's not as talented as these other people, that he's just a normal guy, like with a slight edge of the fact that he is from the future. You really see this character like grow, and it's not just Koya. You see all the other characters throughout the series like having their own struggles throughout life. Like you have Saraki's struggle with his family, like wanting to be a doctor instead of him following his dream. You have Shino trying to realize that she's only good at drawing and struggles with the fact that she's not good at anything else. Like she's not bothered by it, but she has that realization. You have Nanako who has a perpetual fear of not being able to realize her talent, so she's scared to take the chance to use her actual talent that is singing and is only hiding behind her acting ability because she knows she won't be hurt if she fails at that instead of singing. And then you have Echo, who is a very talented producer overall, but sometimes just gets way too ahead of herself getting tunnel vision, and she realizes that her tunnel vision hurts those around her because she leaves them behind the dust. What the point I'm trying to make here is that every character is very relatable in this series, and you could find somebody that you connect with in the series no matter what. And I think that's amazing. Like it's really rare for me to find an anime that makes me really say like, oh, I can see these characters. All I could be friends with all these characters. Like I can see like them all being real people, which I think is just speaks volumes overall of the writing. What I'd like to talk about is like the actual story and a quick summary of the anime itself. It focuses around Kyoya, as well, hopefully you guys have figured out by now, who regrets the decisions of his life and decides, he wants to try and change things up eventually, like because at this point in his life, he hasn't really done much. He went to business school and that kind of all fell through, and he's working like day to day right now, just barely getting by. And he's just struggling. He's at the at the end of his rope, which I feel like a lot of us have all been to at some point. And so he's walking one day home after a few drinks and mild depression, and sees a woman, a redheaded woman, like at the top of one of those overpasses where the roads are, and thinks she's about to jump. So he tries to stop her, and it ends up this woman Echo was just frustrated from work and just staring into space. She wasn't gonna jump, and so they have like this awkward moment where like, sorry about that, ha ha ha. And Echo says, "You want to go get a drink? You seem like you're struggling more." And he's like, "Yeah, you know what? Whatever." So they go get a drink, and this isn't like any romance thing. Echo turns out to be a high executive at a big gaming company, and offers Koya the opportunity to work for them, like a partial basis at first, and if it works out, she'll help him get a full-time job. And Koya takes this opportunity in a heartbeat because this is his chance to actually do something more exciting with his life instead of the boring job he's been doing before. And Koya, when he gets there, excels at this job. He's doing great. Like, he is fantastic. He is probably one of the best workers they had. And it goes well for a while until it doesn't. The universe says, yeah, you can't be happy. Sorry. And pretty much the company doesn't go under, but does a lot of layoffs, and he loses his job as a result. So once he loses his job, he has to end up moving back home with his parents, which really blows if you've already lived on your own, and has to, like find another job, but he's too much in the dumps. His sister then comes up with some of his old stuff from his high school days, and he finds his old diploma for the his old acceptance letter for art school that he ended up not choosing to go to because he wanted to take the safe path and went to become an economist. And this is where he's like, damn, if only I could remake my decisions. If only I could change my destiny and actually gone to art school. He then goes to sleep, wakes up, finds out he's 10 years in the past, and he's like, what is going on? Is this one of those isekai things? And I love how they reference that because it's been overdone so much. And realizes the fact that, no, this is an opportunity for him to remake his life. Yeah, see what I did there at the title? But he gets a chance to really redo everything over. And as a result, Koa, instead of going to become an economist, goes to art school and decides to take a chance. When he goes to art school, he meets a bunch of interesting people. Shino, Echo, Suraki, and Nanako are the four main characters that he does end up meeting. And these four characters are, like, I guess this is some spoiler territory here, turn out to be like huge people in the entertainment industry later on in the future. And Kyoya is friends with all of them, and he's just some guy who just all of a sudden decided to intervene in this world. So, but Koyo is not intimidated per se. He's a little intimidated, but he's not going to let that stop him from trying to achieve his goals and dreams. So Kyoya ends up living with three of them, which is Shino, Suraki, and Nanako. And I love their dynamic to begin with because they're all really great. They all feed off of each other, and they're all just a fun group to be around. Shino's the classic airhead. Saraki's kind of like the cool boy slash bad boy, and Nanako is like the happy-go-lucky, like, yeah, let's do it, girl. Anyways, moving along. So I'm going to talk about my favorite part of the series, which is around episode 4, so a bit of a spoiler warning here, I guess. But my favorite part of the series is when they have their first project together, where Shino, Saraki, and Kyoya all team up together to do a project. And their project is going to end up being the theme of time. And is a really cool premise because that's what everybody has to do. And it's about an idea that I didn't understand it fully, if you can't tell. But like I thought it was a really cool idea. And I don't need to understand it. The characters do. So I'm just along for the ride. Anyway, Koya and the gang all get together. They're like, what can we do for a theme of time? And a bunch of talking, yada yada later, they come up with the idea to use a train station as the symbolism for time. Having a little girl turn into an old lady as the day goes by to symbolize the idea of time passing, which is a really cool idea. And then Saraki's like, yeah, yeah, seems like a great idea. Anyway, Koya, can I speak to you outside real quick? And Koya's like, yeah, sure. And to Koya's lack of knowledge, he realizes that he had read a book 5 or 6 years later on in the future that had the same exact concept. And you know who created that concept? Saraki. And this is where Koya realizes that that's one of the three superstar entertainers in the future. He is living with one of these superstar talents. And he just stole his idea. So he's like freaking out. In the end, they both say like, all right, no, it was just a weird coincidence because Koya can't tell him he's from the future. That'd be who would believe him. Moving along, we get to the point where they actually are going to do the shoot. And when they get to the shoot, They realized they brought the wrong camera. Their girl that was supposed to be there didn't end up showing up. Pretty much anything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong. And Kyoya and the gang are all like frustrated. Everybody else is about to give up. And Kyoya says, "No, I have given up for the past 10 years. I'm not giving up on this project. We are going to succeed right here." And they end up succeeding because Kyoya made connections in this world. He used the skills that he had developed in these past 10 years of building connections, being a producer already, into a way to make a successful product. And that shows when they show it to the rest of the class, their 3 minute long feature. It becomes the second best project out there for somebody who almost failed. Everybody is so impressed with Kyoya after this that they all say that Kyoya is the goal. Eh, these superstar talents say, Kyoya, you are our goal. And to him, like, that is one of the most humbling moments of his entire life, to realize that he is now on the same level as these super talents. I'm not going to go any further than episode 4 because there's a lot of really great stuff that happens, but anything that I say beyond this point is in the spoiler category, so please skip over this part if anything. Probably about a minute or two, and you can avoid any potential spoilers here. But what I really like about this show is that it's the premise of what it means to be an artist and what brings your passion. And we learn throughout as the series continues on from this point on that Kyoya slowly starts kind of sucking the passion out of the three other people that he lives with. Shino starts to lose the want to be an artist. Like you can see it subtly throughout the series. Saraki starts losing confidence in his writing, and Nanako becomes reliant on Kyoya to validate her singing abilities. And eventually he does end up going back to the future 10 years into the future and sees that he has literally ended all three's potential careers because of his interference and ability not to let them grow as artists. Because about being an artist, I don't know much about being an artist. I'm an accountant. But I know one of the most important things that you need to be an artist is to go through struggle after struggle and grow from mistake after mistake and really hone your craft. Kyoya's interference prevented that from happening, which as a result caused them not to become the superstar talents that they were eventually to become. And it's kind of heartbreaking to see Kyoya go through that because he realizes that these people he looked up to, he ended up hurting just because he wanted to be with them. And this series, the season ends with him actually being able to go back to the past and trying to rectify the situation, but the season kind of ends on a weird, kind of sad note. If I'm being honest, because Kyoya can't take back the decisions he's already made. He can only try to fix what he's done, and it just ends like that. We don't know if there's a season 2 or anything coming, but it's I kind of like how it ends on like a kind of a sour note, like where there's no end, or there's no proper end, there's no resolution because there might be a season 2. But even if it ended this way, I kind of like the idea that you can't take back those mistakes. That future that he saw could very well still happen, but it's up to him right now to, fix those mistakes and try to change them for the better. Or at least he can hope to try to change it from the better. But yeah, that's what I thought about that, which I thought was a really cool it was really not it was really interesting ending. The thing I want to talk about is why I love this anime. Like, I know not a lot of people care, like, oh, why does Max love this anime? But if you're watching this video, I guess you care to some degree. So the reason I love this anime is it really just spoke to me because I've had those moments where I've been nervous. Am I making the right decision in my life? I've needed validation, like Nanako, like from other people to say that I'm making the right call. Like, I've had those moments throughout my life, and just being able to see like an anime that kind of shows the struggles I've gone through and because of the decisions I made is really kind of refreshing. It's kind of nice because I enjoy seeing people succeed like that. And as for myself, I know I've succeeded with the decisions I've made, but even to this day, I still am like, what if I made this decision? Like for me, it said, what if instead of going to the Division 3 tennis university I went to a Division 1 and really tried to push myself? What if I instead going into business, I decided, you know what, let's do something crazy. I love building things with my hands. Let's go and become a woodworker or an engineer or something. Like these are other paths that could have opened up to me, but I chose a different career path overall because that's what I wanted to do at the time. And I think it's something a lot of other people could relate to overall. And even right now, like after watching that series, it's inspired me to try and do better also throughout my life. For me, like Devin and I creating this YouTube channel, well, and also Diego at one point created this YouTube channel originally because we wanted to have fun and be creative. But as I also watched Remake Our Lives, I was like, no, let me put as much effort as I can into this channel and try to really make it grow into something. Because I feel like I would regret, like Kyoya regretted, not putting my best effort forward into this. So like, really, to me, it's a great story, and it really touched me personally. I don't know about other people, but I would definitely love to hear your thoughts. Comment below and let me know what you guys think about it. Anyway, guys, I think that'll do for this episode of Breakfast Burrito. I know it was a little short, but I'm happy you guys stayed to listen to me ramble a little bit. This has been Max from Baka Burrito. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below and give me a comment. Just tell me, did you watch Remake Our Life? Did you like the anime? Did you think it was bad? Do you think I'm completely giving this anime way too much credit than it deserves? Please let me know down below, and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Anyway, you guys have been great. I'll talk to you guys later, and have a good one.